I find it interesting, and I've done this many times at Speaker's Corner. I've got up on the ladder and I've asked the crowds that were there, can anybody tell me where Islam has ever had an abolition movement to abolish slavery? Has there ever been a movement in Islam in any country, anywhere in the world, where they have tried to abolish slavery? Does it exist? Yet we know that abolition, the whole abolition movement, began in Britain. In fact, the first country in the world to finally abolish slavery in 1807, over 200 years ago, or just over 200 years ago, by a man named William Wilberforce. William Wilberforce, who was a Christian, who purposely went to abolish, spent his whole career trying to abolish slavery, and when he did so in 1807, that started a rippling effect right across the world, right across Europe, over in the United States, when they finally had the Civil War to eradicate that very thing, and finally they succeeded in the 1860s. In the 1860s, we eradicated and abolished slavery because of that war, because of what Wilberforce had first initiated back in 1807. And when you look at the whole history of abolition of slavery, the last countries in the world to abolish slavery were Muslim countries. 1961, Saudi Arabia finally abolished slavery, not because they chose to, because they were forced to by the United Nations. And the last country in the world to finally abolish slavery was Mauritania in 1981. That's in my lifetime. I was alive in 1961. I was alive in 1981. It shows you I'm pretty old. But it shows you also that it was that recent that finally Muslims abolished slavery. Yet they haven't abolished slavery. Baroness Cox was a good friend of mine. In fact, she lives just a few miles from me. She goes down to Sudan in northern Arabia, and she takes a film crew with her, and she goes to the slave markets in the Sudan, and she buys slaves on camera, and then she releases them on camera to show that slavery still exists today, and only in Muslim countries.